Hey everyone, I'm Sam here with a homebrew session with the Rare Occasions 2014's Rock Hunt champions. How are you doing, guys?
Great.
Doing good.
Can you tell us your names and what you do in the band?
I'm Brian. I'm the singer, and I play guitar and keyboards.
I'm Jeremy, and I play bass.
And we're missing some people. Who are we missing?
Yeah, we're missing Luke, our drummer, and Peter, our guitarist.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We miss them dearly.
We miss them too as well. So tonight you guys did more of a relaxed version of what your normal sets are like.
Right.
Yeah. Due to sickness.
I am under the weather. So yeah, we did all the songs where on the records I like kind of whisper sing, and that made it doable.
That's awesome.
And
though.
yeah, I think it could be like a cool.
Yeah, and you mentioned it was your first time doing those songs live?
Yeah, two of the songs, Aglow and L'amour, is the first time we'd ever done them live.
And Aglow is from a compilation album that you were telling me about.
Right.
Yeah, what else has to do with that album?
Yeah, well, so our friend who runs kind of like a studio label called Tegmental, we'd known him from playing gigs around Boston with him, and he called up all of his pals from the scene and was like, hey, I want to do a Christmas or holiday album and with all original music. So he got us to write a wintry song, and all of our friends up in Boston, and Jimily, and who else was on the record? House Guests, a bunch of like House Guests is a BU band, and Jimily goes to Northeastern. They all contributed to the album with original music, and I think by forcing us to like come up with something pretty quickly, like we all did pretty well with writing tunes. It was fun.
That's awesome. So is that the last thing that you've released?
Yeah, that's our most up-to-date release.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're actually heading to the studio in March. We're getting started on our first full length actually. So
all brand new songs, or
I think so. Yeah. Some things we've been experimenting with, but there's one song that it's had this one part, and it's been a part of 3 different songs that it hasn't worked out for some reason. But it's kind of funny how just sometimes songs come to you in 15-20 minutes, and sometimes it takes you 2 years to complete a song. And I think we got it to the point where it's like filled out, it's complete, and it's in good form. So
I wrote that melody like I think 2 years ago. I was sitting in my electronics class at sophomore or junior year, and it popped in my head, and then we tried it in a bunch of different songs, and like now finally it's in a song.
Did we have that before Peter was with us?
No, I think he was with us.
He's with us.
Yeah.
All right.
wait, so you wrote the song in class?
Like, well, you know how like things just
happen. Like zoning out, and
you can't. If you look through my like notebooks from all my classes, you can see little like scale degrees and like little rhythmic notations, because
that's awesome.
You can't, if something comes in your head, you can't let it go. You gotta write it down.
Don't want to lose that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really cool. So like I said, these guys were the Rock Hunt champions last year. So how has that changed your performances and your experience as a band? Take me from when you won to now, this past year.
Well, it's been a big change for us, I think, especially here in Rhode Island. It's like elevated us to like at least like in the minds of other people, like, you know, people regard us more highly than they would otherwise. And we got to play at the summer concert series, which was like awesome. That was really incredible, and we found a bunch of new fans through that and through the show at Lupos, and that wouldn't have happened if it weren't for the Rock Hunt. So like in terms of like publicity and getting our name out there, like the Rock Hunt has done so much. And we got to meet some really cool bands too during the Rock Hunt as well, who we've been like reaching out to and staying in touch and stuff.
That's great. Do you have any advice for bands in the Rock Hunt this year? Like, what do you wish you would have known?
I think for Rock Hunt, the most important thing, and this may be the most cliche, just predictable answer, but it's a cliche and predictable because it's true. you really got to show that you're willing to have fun. You know, there are other things that are important too, but there's a big difference between a great band that takes things way too seriously and a great band that looks like they're having fun. So yeah, I think that would be one thing to really bear in mind. Not to get too caught up in it. You don't want to like play the whole song,
Yeah.
you know, the whole set with a smile on your face, because that's just creepy. But
If you look at the Rock Hunt winners from like years past, the ones like leading up to us, I'd say like a common theme is like it's really important to have good songs. Like you can be a really incredible live band, but if you don't have something that's catchy or memorable in a certain way that's good for radio, I feel like that's the common thread.
Yeah.
Between
I actually
all the
really
other
like the
bands.
musicality that you guys have in your songs. You have some strange time signatures and killer bass lines and just like
That's this guy
yeah,
over here.
is that all you? Yeah, you said you went to Berkeley.
Yeah, I'm actually my super senior year right
Super
now.
senior, cool.
Wrapping up this
What are
semester.
majors at Berkeley like?
What are they?
Yeah,
like?
what are they? Because I know like at some like at RISD they're like you can major in glass, but like Berkeley's a music school, so like why can you major in there?
I'm majoring glass.
Yeah.
Is that like the actual name of?
I think so.
Oh, okay, that's really funny.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. So I started at Berkeley with performance in electric bass and music education dual major, and then my 5th or 6th semester, I switched out of music education to music therapy. So I'm a music therapy, and I actually, as of last Tuesday, technically last Friday, am done with my performance
Nice.
degree. But I still have like another year and a half until I get my actual diploma, because I have to do my internship with music therapy, which is at least 6 months. So
Wow.
I walk on a stage and I get just a white piece of paper this May.
Basically saying you did it. Good
Yeah,
job.
exactly. Yeah. Go get them. And so like, yeah, I mean, those are the majors I had, and they're very different. Like this past summer, I had to do a presentation on the effects of active versus passive music therapy on improving quality of life in those that suffer from motor debilitating neurological disorders. It was
That's
the
a mouthful.
title.
Is that the
was,
title?
the title was like half the paper, and right
incredible.
after that, I had to do a presentation on recording bass in a bass class. And how like there's a difference between recording in a studio and playing live. And then at the end of the presentation, the teacher asked me like, what would you title this presentation? And because I just came from my music therapy class, I was like, oh yeah, the differences between playing electric bass while in a recordio studio setting versus the adrenaline based atmosphere of playing on stage or whatever. And he was just like, oh, so studio versus live, okay. And I was just like, yeah. So like sometimes that can be a shift. So that's been my experience, but most people do their single major because they're sane people.
Funky majors like conducting. Is
Yeah,
another
there's
major.
conducting, there's contemporary writing, production, film scoring,
That's so
MP&E, which is like recording music, and then there's EPD, which is creating synthetic sounds. And yeah, I think I mentioned film scoring. There's also like different minors that they have, like video game scoring and
Really?
and stuff like that. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, there's
I
some
never
pretty
knew
cool
that
minors.
was a thing that people would study. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's really cool. So I mean, you get jacks from all trades at Berkeley. Yeah,
Yeah, Berkeley. Shout out to
Berkeley.
them.
and yeah, it's a really cool place.
Yeah. And you were saying you studied electrical engineering, which
Yeah,
is totally something completely different. Does that influence you at all in any way?
Definitely, like lyrically, I think for sure, like people don't know this about electrical engineering, but it's like pretty psychedelic, like thinking about signals as like in the time domain and in the frequency domain, and just like the crazy math behind it is like pretty trippy. So like that's an influence lyrically, and then like I've tried to merge my world. So like right now I'm working as an electrical engineer at a company that does audio and and music stuff, software and hardware. So.
Yeah, that's really cool. What else influences you as a band? Like what other bands? What do you guys listen to?
We listen to a lot
Everything?
of music.
Anything,
yeah.
everything?
What's your most recent kick?
Okay, yeah. What am I into lately? I'm really into this group called Frankie Cosmos. They're from New York City, and they rock. And then who else have I? I love like keeping tabs on the local scene.
Yeah.
Up in Boston, there's a band called Bent Shapes that I'm really into, and I've seen them live accidentally like 3 or 4 times, and I finally saw them live on purpose one time, and they were really incredible. Yeah.
What about you?
Lately, I've been digging into Queens of the Stone Age for like the past solid, 3 months, just like their entire library.
Have you seen them live at all?
Yes.
Yeah.
It kind of sucks because it was what prompted me to start listening to them. I didn't really know their music
I hate
before
it when that happens,
I listened to them. But I'm hopeful that they're going to be releasing an album and touring soon.
Cool.
Yeah, I would love to see them. But also Alabama Shakes.
They're going to be on SNL soon. I think.
I'm probably not going to watch that because I really want to listen to the album as a whole. And I know they're going to play new songs.
Yeah, they are.
And yeah, like I was at a friend's house and they started playing the new single, and like I was like, I have to leave. Like I can't listen to this because
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, that's how I feel. Like I just want to listen to the album. So I'm like super pumped about their album. And then there's also this other artist. His name is Brushy One String. He's this dude from Jamaica, and
I've never heard of this.
No, yeah. Oh, it's this guy from Jamaica, and he plays guitar with one string, and he's just like, it's like really soulful, just like really, pulls at your heartstrings and makes you like think like,
One string pulls at your heartstrings.
Pulls at your heartstring.
String,
yeah.
Singular.
How many strings does a heart have?
No one knows,
Nobody knows.
But he's really great. And what am I thinking? Radiohead too. I'm in a Radiohead ensemble right now in Berkeley, which is just
nice.
Awesome. Yeah. So
do you play the songs like as is, or do you try to put your own spin?
It's kind of weird because we have 4 vocalists and 2 bassists.
Okay.
So
all right.
we're working with what we have, and trying to add our own flavor to it. But at least my position is, we should honor the songs, not try to make them our own thing.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
So I was talking about Live Lounge earlier, and about if you had a cover, if you could cover any song and put your own spin to it, what would it be? And what style would you do it in?
So we were talking about this earlier, and we put out like a version of Latch by Disclosure, where we like put our own. It's like kind of a doom surf spin on it, and if we could like nail that live, I feel like that would be a good one for the BBC Live Lounge.
That'd be really cool. I heard you guys play it at the
oh yeah, we did play that live.
Yeah, you did play live. Yeah,
it was okay.
I liked
we can do it better live. I think we would make it better for BBC.
That's.
Can you think
I've talked a lot about doing Alabama Shakes. I think your voice would be great for Alabama Shakes.
Not today though.
Yeah. You can do like a BB King song with your cold.
Yeah.
Be a sexy blues singer.
That's awesome. All right. So for the last part of the interview, I just want to ask you some lasts that have happened to you. What was the last thing you ate? Just a random.
I have like half a sandwich in my pocket right now, so that I ate a couple of bites of that, and I'm intending on eating more bites of it after this interview.
I just finished my Subway sandwich. It was good.
Let's see. Last concert that you went to. That wasn't your own, obviously.
Oh, we saw. My girlfriend and I went to see this band called Gray Season, who we actually played with last week. They're this folk band that are like part Berkeley. I think they go to other schools around Boston, and they're really good. They have like really
harmonies.
Yeah, their vocal harmonies are incredible.
Nice.
And yeah, that was in like a headphone store. Like it was like after the store closed, they like opened it up for a concert space.
That's really cool.
It was a really cool concert.
I think the last show that I saw was actually Bent Shapes at the Lily Pad.
Oh yeah.
That was a cool show.
Okay, last time you left New England.
CMJ.
Yeah.
for me, yeah.
Yeah.
We played CMJ in October. That's in New York City. And that was fun. And that was the last time we'd been outside of New England, I think.
Yeah, I went to New York sometime
yeah.
in November and December. But yeah, New England's a good place.
All right. Well, that's awesome. Do you guys have any shows coming up?
Yeah, we're playing at Newport Blues in Newport.
March 13th.
March 13th, Friday, March 13th.
All right. Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for coming around. We always love having you come anytime. This has been a Homebrewed session with the Rare Occasions. I'm Sam.